Om Namo So, Rianch, you can start with text 56.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 56. Sarvakarmani apisada kurvano mar vyapashraya mat prasada vapnoti shashvatam paramavyayam.
Those engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace.
Text 57. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasa matpara buddhi yogamu bhashritya matchitta sasatam bhava.
In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me.
Text 58. Matchitta sarva durgani matrasadatharishyasi atachetvam ahankaran nashtosyasi vinakshasi.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act to false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
Text 59. Dahankaram ashritya nayotsya iti manyase mityaisha vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyokshati.
If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
Text 60. Svabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yenmohat karishyasi avashopitat.
Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
Text 61. Ishvara sarva bhutana vadadesha arjuna tishtate brahmayan sarva bhutane yatra rodani mayaya.
Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjun, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy.
Text 62. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapshasi shashvatam.
O sign of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace in supreme and eternal abode.
63. Itiktenyanamakyatam guhyad guhya taramaya vimshaitar asheshena yatti chasi tata kuru.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
Text 64. Sarva guhyatamam bhuya shrenu me paramam vacha ishtosi me dridamiti tato vakshami te hitam.
Because you are my very dear friend, I'm speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
Text 65. Manmana bhavamadbhakto madhyaji namaskara mame vaishyasi satyante pratijane priyosime.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
66. Sarvadharmam परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज हन्तां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Abandon all relatives of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
67. Idante nata pashkaya na bhaktaya karachana na chashurishave vachyam na chamamyo abhyashuyati.
This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
16. Yadam paramanguhyam madbhakteshva vidashiti bhaktim mayi parakrita mame vaishyate sanshaya.
For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
69. Nacha tasman manusheshu ashman me priyakritama bhavita nacha me tasma anya priyotara bhuvi.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
Text 70. Adrishyate cha imam damyam samvadameva yo jnana yagnena tenaham ishtashamiti me mati.
And I declare that he who studies the sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
Text 71. Shraddhavana anasuyascha Srinuyarapi yonara Vimukta subalokan prapnuyat punya karmanam.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell.
72. Kachire touch shrutam partha Tvaikagrena chetasa Kachir Ajnana Samuha Pranashtaste Dhananjaya.
O son of Prutha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Text 73. Arjula Vacha Nashtamas Vritilla Datva Prasaran Vayachita Sitosmi Spi Kata Sandeha Karishe Vachanam Tava.
Arjun said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions.
Text 74. Sanjaya Vacha Itiham Vasudevasya Patasya Cha Mahatmana Samvadam Mimamashasham Adbhutam Roma Harshanam.
Sanjay said, Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end.
Text 75. Vyasa Prasada Chruttavan Etar Gohyamam Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Katra Yeta Swayam.
By mercy of Vyas, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, was speaking personally to Arjuna.
676. Rajan Samsmritya Samvada Imamatutam Keshavarjunayo Munyam Rashyami Chamahu Muhur Muhu.
O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment.
Text 77. Tacha Samsmritya Rupamati Adbhutam Hare Vishmayo Me Mahan Rajan Rashyami Cha Puna Puna.
O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I'm struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
Text 70. Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhute Dravani Dharma Mama.
Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, well done, amazing. Over to you, Karuna. Let me find the. Oh, wrong one. Just 1 second. Oh, it's in the wrong computer. Okay, Karuna, I'll just log in the other computer. If you have your notes, you're welcome to share. You're welcome to speak, and I'll just log on the other computer. Oh, I think, no, we lost her. Okay, let me just.
So the summary of the last chapter, verses 56 to 78. In conclusion, all the activities, practices, and elements of spirituality are ultimately aimed at achieving pure love of God. The highest realization in transcendental knowledge is to re-establish one's eternal loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada wonderfully sums this up in his purport to verse 65 of chapter 18. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official mediator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours he cannot help but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the Prabhuji, I can't read the last line.
In the association of Krishna face to face. So, and the lesson 75, last one, is to understand the philosophy, live the philosophy, and spread the philosophy. So, Karuna, you can continue if you like.
Yes, so yeah, very important. This chapter, as everything is summarized perfectly by Lord himself. And very nice verse of verse 65. Yeah, I was looking at that. It's really amazing, this verse.
Mm. Mm.
So always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. So thus you will come to me without fails. This is our target, becoming a devotee of Lord and worshipping him always and offer your homage unto me. So always think of him, always be with him. Quite difficult in this material world when we are engrossed in every activities, material. But yeah, we have always tried to think, at least for a few seconds each time, just try to escape from everything and think of him, at least think of him. Yeah, then at least we'll be trying to do. Just I'm so much engrossed in activities at school, so yeah, I try each time to, yeah, just switch up. And what's good, nowadays, I have another devotee working the same school at me. So at least when I look at him, I say, "Oh, Krishna, the
Mm.
devotee is over there." So yes, just by looking at the devotee, we know that Krishna is somewhere. Or I just touch my neck bead and I say, "Oh, Tulsi Mata is here." So yeah, we just try each and every time think of him at least.
Mm.
Very important.
Very true. And one of the lessons we had was every few minutes, just say out Krishna, Krishna. It doesn't have to be loud, just softly.
Yeah.
It's just nice. If just getting into that habit takes time, of course.
Yeah.
So very true. And the lesson, like the understand the philosophy. Krishna asks Arjun, and this is the only time Krishna asks Arjun anything. Otherwise, the questions. Oh well, he does ask before in the second chapter. He asks, "How does these impurities come upon you?" so the second time Krishna asks him a question in this dialogue is, have you understood what I've told you? Otherwise, it's always Arjuna asking questions. So, and Arjuna answers, yes, I have understood. Well, you have guided me. Your instructions are clear. I've understood them. So understand the philosophy, live the philosophy. Of course, we try to put this philosophy into practice, into our daily lives, if possible, where possible. And spread the philosophy, because what Krishna says, text number 68 and 69, are so nice. He says, one who shares this supreme secret with the devotees is very dear to Krishna. And then in text 69, he says, there is no one who's more dear to me than this person. So Krishna is pretty clear that the one who shares this message with others is very dear to him, because we are trying to bring others close to Krishna. Like a lost child who is away from his family. If that lost child is brought back to the family, how much the family will be happy with the person who did that service, who brought that child back. So, of course, we may not necessarily be in a position where we can bring anybody back to Krishna because we're not with Krishna anyway. But if we make an attempt, we're trying to become close to Krishna. And if we try to help others also try to become close to Krishna, this will really endear Krishna to us. So spreading this knowledge is very important. And this is a phenomenal chapter. It's 78 verses. It's one of the longest chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, as you said, gives a good summary of the philosophy. But the last 10, 15 verses are just incredible verses. So, Naniben, anything from your side?
Yes, Hare Krishna, everybody. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? 78 verses.
Mm-hmm.
There are few people, not though it was spoken on the battlefield, not everyone heard this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I admire Sanjay, who's out of whatever he has done in the past,
Yeah.
He got the vision to see, hear
Yeah.
these two people, these two divine people talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Very fortunate soul. Given that mercy by Vyasdev, yeah, his guru. So yeah, not many heard. Yes, not many can hear even now. How many? How many are present in the class? How many hear the YouTube recordings? Very, very few. Very, 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 very few. This message is secret, and it's not secret because Krishna wants to hide it, but it's secret because we don't want to hear it. So it's but when we hear it once. I remember when I read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, immediately I realized, wow, this is the real thing. So because I read so many other books, not many Gitas. I read the Gita Press Gita, which really didn't make too much sense. But when I read Prabhupada's, my goodness, I realized, wow, this is it. So, have to be at the right time, right place for the person to absorb this knowledge, value what Krishna has given. What he has given is incomparable. Only Krishna can do this. Summarize the whole of the Vedic philosophy in, I think he spoke 574 verses in the Gita out of the 100. Only he could summarize. Nobody else, no other incarnation could do this. Krishna is the only one who can do this. And such an amazing, amazing scripture, Bhagavad Gita.
And when Arjun says that he has regained his memory, is it this relationship to Krishna he has sort of remembered, or he's remembered what his duty is, or what he should be doing?
Yeah, I think primarily it's the duty. Because in the 11th chapter, he realizes, oh, this is no ordinary person, right? When Krishna shows him the universal form. So after that, he's understood, hang on, this is no ordinary personality here. I was treating him like my friend, but he's way beyond that. But now when he's saying, I regained my memory. Yes, I understand what you want to be done here, and I will do as you want. So yes, he realized his duty. Yeah, I will act as you want me to act. Not because you're telling me, but I understand. I realize what is my duty now. Good question, Naniman. Very good question. What do you think, Naniman? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, his duty that he has to fight, because that was how Gita, how the speaking of Gita first started, isn't it? He was confused and didn't know what to do. And ultimately found the answers to what Krishna told him. And that means that he realized what his duty is and what he has to do.
Yeah, true.
I wish we all had Krishna in our we have Paramatma form of Krishna, but wish we was there to guide us all the time. Like Arjun.
Thing is, would we listen? We are so stubborn. Would we listen? Debate.
That purified intent.
Yeah. And it's coming. It's coming. It's slowly getting there. But it takes time, because so many layers of dust and so many crazy things in our hearts. It's hard to put this philosophy into practice. We'll understand it. Yes, I have to do this. But when it comes to actually doing it, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But we keep trying. We might fail here and there and again, but we won't stop trying. We'll carry on. Karuna, anything you'd like to add to that? Oh, might have lost her.
Yes, Prabhu. Well said. We have to keep on trying, keep on learning and studying Bhagavad Gita. Every day we should have to read, because our material intelligence is so worst type of intelligence that we may be having. We can't remember, like me. I forget so many things. But uh, reading each and every time we have some, we can at least again come back to things that we have forgotten and try to really
Mm,
put into practice. Yeah, it's very, very important, like mentioned in verse 70 here. Studying the
mm,
sacred conservation of ours,
mm,
and worshipping with intelligence. So yeah, again, back to what we have been doing for years
mm,
here. So family tradition, we go to the temple, we worship Lord Shiva, but we
mm.
didn't have that knowledge really what we are doing, why are we doing all this. But
Right.
yeah, by studying the scriptures, then we get intelligence to the mercy of the Lord and Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, we have to keep on studying
Mm,
and engage in whatever type of devotional service we can.
mm.
Studying very important.
Very, very true. And extraordinary how a message is given on a battlefield, and that message is the highest spiritual knowledge. It's just unfathomable. How is it simple?
Mm.
A lot of people, you tell them, oh, Gita was spoken on the battlefield, and Krishna wanted the battle to continue. And in fact, he was making sure that his main general was up for it. And they would think, what? God was promoting fighting? Shouldn't he be promoting peace? There's so many contradictions. But actually, there are no contradictions because Krishna is very clear. If you really want peace, then you have to do your duty. And you do your duty and remember me at the same time. This is like you quoted that verse, Manmano Bhava, I've forgotten how the first line again. It comes twice in the Bhagavad Gita. It's verse. So such an important one.
That's important, isn't it? Do your duty and remember me, because we all are doing our duties, but
Yeah.
we start remembering, but then as the day goes on, we forget driving, shopping here and there.
Yeah.
So that is important. And
It
they
is.
said that our life is a battlefield as well.
Yes.
Where we are struggling. So that's why it was spoken on a battlefield, that this is what is reality is.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Very good point. Yeah, because somebody could argue, oh, yes, Bhagavatam was spoken on the banks of the Ganga. No, they had all the time in the world. We ain't got any time. So then Krishna, we can say, hang on, this was spoken on the back, just before the big war. So don't give us that you don't have time. We've got time. Interesting point. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Prabhupada, anything from your side?
Hare Krishna, about with sore throat.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I have to tell you that it's the same, not the question, reading this Bhagavad Gita, and I always think, which is the best one? Krishna, Ramayan, Shiv Puran, Swami Narayan, and that's where you get mixed up. And as you said just now about remembering Krishna, you do your puja in the morning and then you come downstairs, you start seeing all your house tasks, and then Krishna is forgotten completely. And I have sit with you now and I'm thinking, oh, I haven't said Krishna in all day. It's true and it's honest.
You're not the only one. I'm in the same boat. So many things.
So it is difficult to remember the Krishna, doing the duties and making everyone, not making everyone, I'm making realize everyone that this is the Bhagavad Gita and you read it about it. And there are so many people, they don't know nothing about it. I mean, I've got my grandchildren. I talk to them. They don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, it's very
And I gave them books,
right.
like the YouTube thing.
Right.
They say we haven't got time to read it.
How old are they?
21 and 19.
Okay, they're not young. Right.
But this is it. It's difficult, very difficult. And my daughter keeps saying to me, Mommy, I don't know too much about Bhagavad Gita. I mean, she does join Hare Krishna Hare Ram satsang, but with herself is same thing, full-time work,
Right.
coming home, cooking meal for family, cleaning, tidying, go to sleep, and same thing. Next day, the same duties. She ain't got no children. She haven't got that time to sit with children and explain all these scriptures about the Krishna.
This is the problem.
So
This is
this is a problem. I mean, with me, I'm all right. I'm retired lady. I'm sitting here. I'm not worried about anything. I'll cook when I'll cook. But with the young generation, it's not easy.
and the problem is
Because-
life will pass by so fast. Every day will just go like this, and before you know it, we're sort of in our 60s and 70s, and life's gone by, and we think, oh my God,
Yeah.
what have we achieved? So
I message them every day like Suprabhat, Jai Shri
Right.
Krishna to my grandchildren. One day they were asking me, what is Suprabhat?
Of course.
And I told them that Suprabhat means Sub means good and Prabhat means morning.
Yeah.
And they said it's first time we hear this word.
Very good. You're actually teaching them. And even sometimes, even the smallest thing you tell them may well stick in their mind, for a long time. So we don't have to give them big philosophy. It's
No,
very,
no.
they won't understand. They won't. But sometimes this is a simple little message. Oh, look, there's a picture of Krishna. Keep it on your desk. They'll keep it on the desk, and every time they're on the desk, they'll be looking at that picture. That can really help a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Pavan, for staying through the whole Bhagavad Gita. It's very, very good, very encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, I have missed some of the parts, but definitely I will go through them again. I will go through them again as soon, like in the evening when I'm doing nothing up. I'm just put my YouTube on and I hear the bhajan of Karuna Mataji, and then Riyan singing, and then the Bhagavad Gita, which is helping me.
Yeah, no, you're making good use. Thank you.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Karuna, as well, for taking us
Yeah,
through.
she's
Good.
singing quite well, and she's making us understand a lot.
Understand very well. Yeah.
Very well, yeah.
Points of view.
Thank you to Prabhu for giving me the opportunity of going through Srimad Bhagavad Gita again. And thank you to all the devotees who are listening and contributing and participating so well. So nice. I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot with you. I'm learning also. So yeah, very nice sessions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I have joined with you since last March 2022.
Right.
Yes.
March or February, something like that. I started join. Since then, I have nearly joined every day, unless for some reason if I'm gone out. And I do like that Sunday session where you speak and we have to speak behind you.
Yeah. Srimad Brahma Samhita, Sri Brahma Samhita.
Yeah, that's the one. I really like it. Like its pronunciation. You have to try your best. The pronunciation, which is quite good. I mean,
Good to learn Sanskrit.
Yeah, I don't know a word about Sanskrit, and I don't even understand Sanskrit, but I like to speak or with it.
Guru Maharaj was always saying that you should learn Sanskrit. I'm always trying to find some time to learn some Sanskrit more.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying. I said no. I have joined the satsang. I don't want to miss it. Job is always around in the house, but forget about this. Just that 1 hour is quite a lot with me. And thank you, like all of you who are doing participate, especially Puja Mataji asking more questions. And
Yeah,
it's nice to hear from others also.
yeah, that's right. And also
Thank you.
Shamalini. Shamalini, anything from your side? Anything you'd like to ask or contribute?
I must say that, even the Bhagavad Gita, we've read it before, but it's nice that we went through it again. Otherwise, as everyone is saying, we forget about it. So we remind ourselves, we learn more, understand more. Um, I mean, I go through them again sometimes because during the class there are things you don't understand. So I like to listen to them again and again.
And Naniben, amazing, your contribution, your
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Sitaram, very good.
Yes, I want to add something. I know Bhagavad Gita since long. When my brother bought one Gita and gave it to me, and he was also studying in the 1975, I think, when Prabhupada came to Mauritius. And I was telling my father that time I was very young. I was in my 20s. So he told me, no, you have such and such duty to be done. So but my brother went meet Prabhupada in Mauritius, and then he carried out a book. The book is still with him. So such time I was young. I do not know how to study. I was studying the college. So with time, when I read it, I do not understand nothing. But now I have read several times Bhagavad Gita, and following all those courses given. And I myself gave courses to those devotees in the Phoenix Temple over there and at Roswell. Now I am going to Roswell in the south. Last Sunday, we went with my son, my daughter-in-law, my little daughter. It was very amazing. And they told me to do class next week. I told them, no, man, it is so quick. I do not want to do anything so quickly. The next week, maybe. He had taken my phone number and he will phone me. It is like this, Prabhu, step by step. And you can make progress. Hare Krishna. Okay,
No,
thank you, Prabhu.
And thank you, Sitaram Prabhu, for your consistency. Always here. It's very, very nice. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's stop there.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.